Hey everyone, this is Mitch, aka Magikarp. I play for Team Rankstar for the Eternal Tournament Series, and I stream on twitch.tv/LOL Magikarp. I know that a lot of people in the competitive community don't really enjoy playing with or against tokens because it's played so often, but I love the deck. And I apologize for anyone that doesn't. But I just kind of wanted to make a little intro video for a tokens deck that's completely budget. There are no legendaries in it, and I thought I was thinking there's a lot of new players coming into the game, and I thought that I could kind of go over the deck and link this deck at the bottom of the YouTube video. That you can copy paste into your client, and then also give a upgraded version that you can build towards over time while playing Eternal. Like I said, this deck doesn't have any legendaries, and it's something that even if you don't have all of the cards immediately, it's something that you can put together and potentially start building towards. This deck, we're going to play it at Diamond 1 today and see how that goes. I haven't played this deck yet, but I've played tokens for quite a few months now. I have an Eternal Tournament Series win with tokens. I have an Invitational Day 2 with tokens. And then a friend of mine has taken, actually one of my other teammates, Day 2 to an Invitational with the tokens build that we came up with. And then recently, I have another teammate who has top 8'd two ETSs with tokens build. So I'm very familiar with the deck. I've played it on ladder a lot. But this is the toned down budget version that I feel like if you played semi-consistently, you'd be able to have all these cards within a week to 2 weeks. And you could, a lot of these cards probably come in your intro cards that you open. So we'll go over these. It's okay to not have all the cards. You can easily throw in replacements. If you are looking for replacements, I would suggest 2-drop creatures. Basically anything you have in your inventory that costs 2 or 1 that looks like it would be an aggressive card that you can play on the early turns, remove some of your opponent's creatures, and then kill them with the token strategy. So going over the cards, we have Alluring Ember. This is a 1-cost, 1/1 with flying. Flying means that it can fly over your opponent's creatures if they don't have flying. Charge means that it can attack the turn it comes into play, and Warp means that when you can play it if it's on the top card of your library. The game will prompt you if it's on the top card of your library. So a lot of times you can treat that as basically like drawing a card. It's a way to generate card advantage with the tokens deck, and it's just a very good aggressive card. One thing to note is that it costs double fire and double time, so you want to plan that out accordingly to make sure that you have both double fire, double time. So this card you can't play on turn 1, but it is a very low cost card that you could play early to mid game to smooth out your draws and get some aggressive attacks in the air. Grenadin Drone is one of the best cards in the game. It's a 1 mana or 1 power 1/1, and then when it enters the battlefield, it makes another 1/1. So for new players to card games, a lot of times a card will just make one single card, but it's a very, very powerful effect when you have one card that makes 2 cards. So basically you're making 2 creatures for 1 card. It's very, very good. This is also a 1 power 1/1, and when it is on the battlefield, it increases your maximum power by 1. So if you play this on turn 1, you will have 2 maximum power. You will play your power for the turn 2, and you will then have 3 power that you can use on turn 2. It accelerates the way you play cards and helps you get to your game plan faster than your opponent. Temple Scribe, it's a 2 power 1/1 that requires 2 time. You have to have 2 time to play it. And when it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life and draw a card. This card is very good because it replaces itself. It is a card that basically you have for free because all that it requires of you is having 2 power. Very, very nice play on turn 2 a lot of the time. Trailmaker is another card that increases your maximum power. It also, when it enters the battlefield, you make you get to gain an influence of your choice. So you get to add either a fire or a time source, whichever you're missing. A lot of times that will help play your Alluring Ember. So we have our red merchant right here. This is a 3 power 3/3, and it has Overwhelm, meaning that let's say you have 3 power attacking and they have 2 defense blocking. The 3 power will go over the 2, and you'll have 1 power left over that's actually hitting their face. So it kind of it overwhelms over top of your opponent. If you're from Magic, it's trample. This is a 4 power 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you can choose to make a 1/1, a 2/2 flyer. 1/1 deadly, which means if anything touches it, it dies. It's very useful in certain situations. A 2/2 flying, so it can fly over your opponent, or a 3/3 overwhelm. Now, as a general rule of thumb, you want to always make a 3/3 overwhelm. I know there will be situations where that's different, but if you aren't sure, I would always stick with going with the overwhelm. And then we have Shatterglass Mage at the top end. It's a 5 power. It also has warp and also overwhelm. So you can play it off the top of your deck. And when it comes into play, you can kill an enemy attachment. An attachment is something like a Xenan Obelisk. It's a static thing on the board that's always going to be there. And this Shatterglass Mage can take care of it. A lot of the times, attachments are very hard to interact with. They're designed in a way that you can't kill it with a kill spell or a, fire spell, damage spell. So yeah, Shatterglass Mage is kind of a nice utility card that can also gain you card advantage. Xenan Obelisk is one of the best cards in the game. It's a 4 power relic, which also counts as an attachment. It's attachment onto your face, your character face. Your units get +1/+1. When you have 8 or more maximum power, they actually get +2/+2. So it's just a really nice way to get all of your little creatures into making them a little bit more bigger, a little more resilient. Torch is a 1 power 3 damage spell. It can either hit a creature or your opponent's face. So a lot of times you might want to just shoot them in the face if they're at 3. Assembly Line is another spell, but it actually creates 3 Grenadin. So it'll create 3 of these, basically. It'll create 3 of the little 1/1 right there. This card's very, very powerful, and it's something that is really, really nice when you're planning on playing an Obelisk on 4, because you'll have 3 2/2s at that point. Rally is the bread and butter of this deck. The game plan is to get a large board of creatures, large battlefield of creatures, and then attack with all of them in one turn, and your opponent will block a whole bunch of them, and then you rally over top of them. You increase the attack of all your creatures. So a lot of times they'll be blocking with better creatures than what you have, but they'll most likely die, and so you're gaining advantage through that way. Obliterate is a 5 cost, it needs double fire. It deals 6 damage to either a player or a creature. Keep in mind that it has Overwhelm. Overwhelm can, like I said earlier, trample over one of their creatures. So let's say they have a 1/1. You can kill their 1/1 by targeting it, and it will overwhelm into your opponent's face for 5 more damage. We have a power base right here. It's a very basic power base. Basically, this card is very important if you would like to, if you can, you hold it for quite a while until you have 3 other firepower, and then you play that Waystone and you get an extra 1/1. It's another way to generate a token. But otherwise, this power base is pretty basic. The crests, the banners, and the impulses are just more rare versions of regular lands. They add both colors of the lands. And then in the market, we have a bunch of utility cards. So this merchant right here, when you summon it, you can choose, if you would like, you can choose to swap a card from your hand with a card in the market. These cards are not actually in your deck. They're basically sitting outside of your deck waiting for you to go to the market and get them. So this one, kill an enemy attachment, create and draw a copy of Boar, then discard it at the end of turn. So let's say your opponent has out 4 Xenan Obelisk. 4 of these. That'd be very powerful, you'd probably be dead. But let's say, for example's sake, they have 4 of those. You could go to the market, get a Boar, and if you have 4 more mana, 4 more power, you can Boar their first one, get a copy back in your hand, Boar the second, Boar the third, and so on. You can also just get this for 1. A lot of times you go to the market, get a Boar, kill a very important attachment, and then that's it. Purify, it silences a unit. It's a very powerful effect, meaning that the special abilities that are on the unit will then disappear. A lot of times you can just, if you need to kill something, you can just go grab this Purify, kill it, get it out of the way. Your 4th rally is in the market because it's so important. So most of the time you're going to be playing the merchant and then getting this rally from your market, so that you can have like a really nice attack the next turn and then rally to kill them. Cloud of Ash is a card that basically takes all of their units and makes them not able to block, so that if you're playing against a deck that has a giant battlefield and you have a giant battlefield and nothing is really going on, you can go get a Cloud of Ash and you can exhaust everything, make them tired so they can't block, and then attack with everybody and kill them, most likely. And then the 4th Obliterate in here just for some added reach. And yeah, that's the deck. We're gonna play it through some matches. It should go okay. Keep in mind that we are playing in Diamond rank. So if you're starting out in Bronze or something like that, you might have a little bit more success than what we might have with... let's keep this hand. The reason is we have 3 power. We have a unit that we can play on 2, and then we get a unit we can play on 3. Alright. Okay. This increases the cost of a spell in our hand by 1. So we're going to play out our Time Sigil, and we're going to use our Trailmaker to make a fire source. We wanted to get to double fire, double time right here. So I'm going to play out our assembly line. Now, if we attack here, they have 4 toughness, so our 2 wouldn't be able to kill that 4. All right, so now there's a card that our opponent could have. It's called Hailstorm, and it deals 3 damage to everything. So we're under the assumption that they could potentially have it because they have a 4 toughness unit, so the unit would survive. So I wouldn't like to commit too much more to our board already, and we drew this Xenan Obelisk. So I'm going to play out the Xenan Obelisk, and then I'm going to attack with everything. Okay. Now, see, this is lit up. You can, we have 3 fire, so when we play this, we'll go up to 4, and we'll be able to create a 1/1 Grenadin. I'm not going to play it, though, because we have a nice board right here. Okay. Let's play out our power. I'm gonna play out a Temple Scribe first, just to see what we draw. I should have played the. I should have waited to play the power. And then I'm going to play out Now, if our opponent has the Hailstorm, we're probably not going to win. But if they don't, then I think we have a pretty good chance. So this turn, we're going to play out our Praxis banner. This is gain a fire and a time, unless we control unless we don't have a unit. The power will be depleted if we don't have a unit. There we go. That's how you speak. So we're gonna play that. And then we're going to play a Trailmaker before combat because our Trailmaker adds to our maximum power. And you remember with Xenan Obelisk, if you have 8 or more maximum power, your units get +2/+2. So we're going to play this out. We're going to grab a Time Source. And then we're going to play out our Charge unit. And then we're going to attack with everything. And what I just did is I did A to attack, and then space to... Now, if all goes well, we'll be able to play this rally card. Okay, they conceded before we could play it. Alright. First win of the day bonus. And so, yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. The deck is really, really intro-friendly, user-friendly. It's a fun deck. It's fun trying to play around your opponent's board wipes. It's fun trying to gain, advantage with all the little units you're playing. And then also it's fun trying to gauge if I attack with, if I have like 8 units in play and they have 1 blocker, and I attack this turn and then next turn, are they dead? So you gotta look a turn or 2 ahead. The deck is a very, very easy deck to pick up, in my opinion. But there's a lot of math. There's a lot of foresight into looking into your next draws and everything. So, I'll pull the deck up just so you can see it again. Maybe take a screenshot if you need to, but otherwise everything's going to be linked down below. And yeah, so feel free to check out teamrankstar.com. That's the team that I play for, and that's probably where this video is going to be posted at some point. And then otherwise, check out inkedgaming.com. They're a sponsor of Team Rankstar. And check out Brainstorm Games. And also check out my personal sponsor, Hammerheart Strength and Conditioning, hammerheartsc.com. And yeah, have fun on ladder. Welcome to Eternal, and I hope you enjoy this deck. It's won me quite a few games, so I hope it treats you well as well. So yeah. Other than that, be sure to like or subscribe. I don't know how YouTube works. Just subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of this content. If not, find me on twitch.tv/LOL Magikarp on Thursday and Friday nights right now. So, other than that, have a good night.